Hey everyone, what up? Mad Kaiser here, and recently we just got word that more Tales games are on the horizon, including 3 new remasters, and we got word that the new mainline Tales game is in the works. So with that said, let's talk about it. But before we begin, if you like what we've seen here, then by all means, like the video, click the subscribe button if you're new, and hit the notification icon if you want more Tales of news and content from yours truly. With that said, let's get back to the video, and straight on to the details. Now, we just got word from an interview with Yusuke Tomizawa, who's the producer of the Tales series, that 3 Tales of Remastered projects are currently in development, with one being Xillia 2 Remastered that's still in the works, as well as 2 other titles, with the next one set to be announced very soon. And that's really cool to hear, and obviously expected. With Xillia 2's case, it's obviously was going to be a thing given the fact that we are getting Tales of Xillia 1 Remastered, which will be releasing next week, which is really awesome. So it makes sense for them to do the sequel, especially when the director of that game, Kenji Anabuki, has now been served as the main leader for the Tales series, and is currently involved with the next Tales of game, and as well even Arise's DLC. So it would make sense for them to also remaster one of his major titles, and given that the Xillia 2, despite of what some people say, I still think it's an enjoyable title. But what's got me curious is the other 2 remastered projects, or what they could be. Now, if we do go with Xillia 2, I do think that will wrap up the PlayStation 3 era nicely, and that will hopefully give us the PlayStation 2 era to do next, as there are a couple of Tales games on there that deserves a remaster. Unless we do the fact that maybe that they will remaster Zestiria and Berseria, because those games will be easy enough to do, and those games would easily make it to, like, say, the Xbox and Nintendo Switch, which they haven't, as they're currently on PlayStation 4, as well as PC and PlayStation 5, backwards compatible. So yeah, I do think that is the case. So I do think that was a possibility that hopefully we do get more PlayStation 2 Tales games, like Abyss, since that's the more popular one. And currently, Abyss is about to celebrate its 20th anniversary in December, as it will be 20 years since that game comes out. So I do think Abyss is right up on the table. Though other choices could be Legendia, though that's the case, well, it might deserve more of a remake, as that's more of an acquired taste, especially when that game plays slightly differently to other Tales games, especially around that time. So I do think that maybe that game deserves more of a remake. And obviously I do hope that they can also get the ones that were currently exclusive in Japan, like, say, the Tales of Destiny remake, as well as even Tales of Rebirth and Tales of Destiny 2. As currently, Tales of Destiny PS2 remake, as well as even Rebirth, are currently only being available in English by just, well, unofficial translation patches by Lifebottle Productions, which are awesome people, by the way. Shout out to them. So I do think that's the case. And I'm very happy, at the very least, that we are getting more Tales of Remasters on the way at a nice, good pace. But that's to be expected, given the fact that obviously they're likely getting more outsourced partners to do so, in the cases of Tales of Graces F and Tales of Xillia Remastered being more so, external rather than in-house. So here's hoping that we do get, obviously, things like Tales of Abyss Remaster, and maybe one of the Japan exclusive Tales games finally finally coming to the West officially, because I would love that, and something I think the Tales series really needs right now to become fully accessible. And now the next one we gotta talk about is that the next new mainline Tales game is actually currently in development, but said to be a while before it's announced. Now, I'm glad to hear about that, as I do think it's been a while since we heard about the next new mainline Tales game, given the fact that Arise recently has been released about 4 years ago, which, yeah, I mean, if you watch that video, I mean, I can't believe it either. It's just absolutely insane. But even still, I do kind of want to see, like, more info about this and what they have done with it, especially when obviously Arise was such a success, both critically and commercially, despite the recent discourse it has got from, the Tales community in general. But even still, I'm just wanting to see what they do with it, and hopefully it's going to be a fully standalone experience. I think we need to move past the whole trying to connect to, the previous mainline Tales game, which we got the result of both Berseria and Xillia 2, and that's coming to me who loves Arise, Xillia 2, and Berseria. As much as I love those games, I do think we need to move on and have more unique and complete experiences, especially since we had that during the PlayStation 2 era and early PS3 era, so I think that is something awesome. Hopefully sometime, maybe late 2026, before when the Tales of 30th anniversary does come into wraps, we get an official announcement and see what they've done with it, take what was good about Arise and improve upon it, and maybe even other aspects that people didn't like to be brought back into this one. So that's what I would love to see, and hopefully we get to see this really soon, because I just want to see on what they do with the next mainline Tales game. And lastly, on a lesser note, I want to also mention that we got an interesting hook on how 70% of the Tales series are actually, in terms of sales, actually are overseas, which is quite shocking, but at the same time it's not. Obviously, around its inception, the Tales series has been more popular in Japan, though recently with things like Symphonia, as well as also Vesperia, and also the cases of Berseria and Vesperia Definitive Edition, and especially Arise, the Tales series has been slowly been doing well in the West, and obviously in the cases of JRPGs, while they do still have a space and still do well in Japan, especially if all of them on the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, the best thing to do is obviously get more people outside Japan into the Tales series so that can grow as a brand. As we see with other series like, say, Persona, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and even to some aspects, even Italia and the Trails series, as all of them are slowly, gaining more eyes and appeal outside of just Japan, which is absolutely really cool, and something that I'm just really happy to see, and hopefully becomes even more stronger, especially when we do hopefully get more Tales games that were once Japan exclusive, fully officially localized here in the West, because I would love to see more people actually play these games, see where Tales has gone back since its inception, and seeing on where some of their beloved Tales games would even be inspired from. So hopefully, with that said, with all this news, what do you guys hope to see with the next Tales of Remasters? What are your picks for what the two mysterious Tales of Remasters would be? What do you hope to see if Tales of Xillia 2 Remasters is done well? And when do you expect to see the next mainline Tales game be officially announced? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, until then, special thanks to my patrons, and Mad Kaiser, out.